Hey guys, Diana here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make royal icing, and we're going to be making royal icing flowers. I figure it's perfect at springtime. I have all these tips. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I was a Wilton instructor for over 10 years. So I have tons and tons of tips. So I said, let me put them to use. Let me show you guys how to do a little royal icing and get some decorations done ahead of time. I also have two videos already up. One is ladybugs and the other one is bees, which I did several years ago. So I just wanted to do the recipe over again just to show you how I make it, which is the same exact recipe as before. Okay, so now I'm going to get started, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take a pound of sugar, and this is my confectioner's sugar, and I do weigh it. I use a scale to weigh it, so this is exactly a pound, which I assume is exactly the same thing that comes in a box. So you can use the box as well. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. So this is what I have here, is the Wilton meringue powder. Okay, I had to search for my tablespoon. So like I said, we're going to do 3 tablespoons. And it doesn't have to be Wilton brand. It's just like I mentioned, I taught for so many years, so I do have a lot of the Wilton products. Okay, so that's 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. And then what we're going to add, which I already have it here separated, I have in this small bowl, okay, I have 5 tablespoons of water and 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, which I've already diluted in the water, so the corn syrup. And if you don't have the corn syrup, just keep an extra tablespoon of water on the side that you can add to see how much you're going to need, because of course the corn syrup is thicker, so it's going to make it, you're going to need a little bit more liquid. But also what it does, it gives a nice sheen to your dried flowers or your dried decorations, so that's why I always use it. I put a pinch of salt in here, and I put a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And since I'm going for white, I'm also using the Wilton extract, which is clear. So this is imitation clear extract. You can use real vanilla. It's just going to give it a slight off-white color to it, but we're going to color the icing anyways. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right in the center, and I'm going to start pouring a little bit at a time. Let me start with my mixer. I'm going to use the handheld mixer here, and I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm just going to pour a little at a time, and I'm going to mix, okay? Sugar flying all over the place. Okay, so this we're gonna mix, and normally we will mix this for a good, I'm gonna say 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. You just want to continue to mix and mix. The stirring mix is getting a little bit stiff here. So this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna turn nice and white and fluffy. And this one is a little on the stiff side. You can always add a little bit more water when you're working with it. This is also a mixture that's used for flooding royal icing cookies. Okay, so now you have the recipe here. So now I'm going to move this one to the side because I made one yesterday so that I can go straight into making the flowers. But again, you're just going to mix this for a good 5 minutes. And I have a KitchenAid handheld mixer, so it's pretty strong. Because if not, it's really hard on the hands, okay? Another thing you could do is just keep the mixer still and move your bowl. So it'll be just like a stand-up mixer, okay? And you're just gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna turn this one off. So you see here I have peaks. You just wanna go a little while longer. Okay. And actually you wanna go until it loses this shine. You see the sheen it has? As you're mixing and mixing, it's going to lose that. Of course, when it stays still, when it's standing still, it's going to have the shine again. But as you're mixing, you don't want to see that shine. That means that the royal icing is not ready. Okay, so I'm going to move that to the side. Let me just cover it with a piece of plastic. Because if you leave royal icing exposed, it starts to dry. So this is the one that I made before. Now I'm going to take a little plastic. I have my plastic bags here. Okay, I'm going to need some wax paper. You guys will need some wax paper. And I do my flowers on wax paper because once they dry, they're so easy to just peel right off. So I'm going to do it right here so that you can see. And we're going to do 2 types of flowers today. With some plastic cups to mix my colors. Now this is the one I made before, and as you see, it looks like marshmallow, so you want to make sure you mix well the one you're going to use. Okay, I'll put it in the cup. I'll continue to mix in there. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of color. Okay, now I have here, again, yes, the Wilton coloring. I do have, oh my god, what's the Americolor? I use Americolor a lot as well. It's the one I had, so I'm gonna just put, I'll do 1 drop, I think. Well, 2 drops. Okay. So now let's get that mixed. So now I'm going to put a coupler in my bag. So if I want to change tips, I can. So get my tins here, and I also have this organizer that's full of tips. Okay, I'm going to do a coupler. And as you see here, I have my trained instructor button. Oh, I do miss giving classes. So we're going to put the coupler here. And now our couplers have a U shape, the Wilton couplers. So what I normally do is I push it down and I score right in the center of that coupler. Just so I have the perfect cut for my tips. So now I'm going to put a star tip. I am going to use, I think, let's see if I can get a larger one. I have an 18. So I have a 21 so that you can see it clearly. I do not in this box, and I'm not going to go through my little tins right now. So right here, I'm going to use a tip 18, which is a star tip. Let's see if you can see here. It's a star. Okay, I have this one here. There's actually a 21, I found it, but it's okay. So it's a star. It's an open star tip. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this icing in that bag. And you want to make sure you cuff your bag so that you don't dirty the outside. Okay. Okay, let's put this in here. Down, and I'm just going to twist this here. Okay, so now let me see. I want to make sure you guys can see. Now the way that I'm going to do this here is I'm going to go straight up and down. So I'm going to hold my, let me put this piece back here so that you can see. I'm going to hold this straight up and down, and what I'm going to do, I'm moving it now at an angle so that you can see, but I'm going to press a little star here. Then I'm going to pick my tip up and just go right around the edges of the star. So I'm making a little circle around it. Okay, and it's going to give me a rosette. Let me get closer so that I zoom it in. Okay, so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's do another one here. Move it up and continuing to squeeze. You're going to just go around. So it's going to give you what we call a rosette. Okay, and now let's see here. This little piece here will just flatten down there. Perfect. Okay, so we'll do again another one and make sure this is nice and clear. Okay, so again, you guys are going to be 90-degree angle, so straight up and down. The only reason I'm moving it to the side is so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So again, here I'm squeezing out a star, and I'm going to lift up and I'm going to continue to squeeze as I go around in a C motion. So I'm making a C. Stop squeezing and move it. Okay, let's do another one right here. Squeeze, lift up, and go around in a C. So you're making a C. Once you finish your C, stop squeezing and continue to turn like if you're doing an O. Okay, so let's do another one here. Super easy. So you see here, if I lift it up here, I have a star, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to make a star first, and then we're going to go up, but we're going to continue to squeeze and make a C. So the letter C, stop and continue to go around. That's going to give you a beautiful rosette. Again, it takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get it. Okay, so again, a star, lift up, make a C, stop, and continue to go around. Okay, now I'm going to do here one on my hands just so that you can see what I'm doing a little closer. Okay, and then I'll wipe it off. So here, let's see. This is my hands here. This is my 90-degree angle. So I have here 90 degrees. I'm going to make a star, go up. Now start making my C as I continue to squeeze. Stop and keep going around. Okay, and so there we have a rosette. So that's your first flower. Once you could do that with any star shape. Okay, bigger star shape, smaller star shape, you can do this flower. Okay, so I'll just make a couple more here. And now that I found my 21, let's do with the 21 so that you can see. And this is the beauty of a coupler. You could take the tip off and use a different tip. Okay, so this one's going to take a little bit of practice. Once you practice it, it gets easier and easier. The next flower is going to be a lot easier. Okay, so here we are. Let's see where you can see. Go up. See, this one is bigger. Okay. There we are. And then these here, once they're drying a little bit, you could just push it down. Okay. See, like here. You could go back and just push them all down so that way they become part of the flower. Okay, let me just clean that off. Stop and go. Okay, see, not too bad. Let's press that one down. Now you have these beautiful flowers. All they're going to need is a leaves. Okay, so let's see. I think we'll make some leaves as well. I don't know how many bags I have here. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the other tip. I wanted to show you, which is, let's see if I find it here. Okay, it's right here. And this is another flower, okay, but this is another star. This is a tip 2D. And what we're going to do with this tip is I'm going to put it in the bag, and I'm only going to cut where I can see the design of the tip, so right here. And move it back up a little bit. Okay, get it back into focus. So here we are. And use the rest of that pink that I made inside this bag here. So now I have very little there. So I'm going to put in these little points. Okay, so now let's move this up. Now to do this flower here, same thing, but now what we're going to do is we're going to be touching the paper, your wax paper, at all times, and you're going to do like if it's a clock. Let's say this is the face of the clock, right? This is your number 12, this is 3, this is 6, this is 9. I should have written that here. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put my knuckles at 9 o'clock. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put my knuckles at 9 o'clock. I'm going to be touching the paper with the tip. As I squeeze, I'm going to be turning my hand so my knuckles go to 12 o'clock. So again, you're just going to pay attention. And once you learn how to do this, you can do it however. Let's say you go from 12 to 3 is more comfortable for you. Say you go from 6 to 9. As long as you're going from that angle there, you're going to have from 9 o'clock to 12. Your flower is going to come out perfect, okay? So this one, again, is 90 degrees. So you're going to be straight up and down. I'm going to go a little sideways just so you guys can see. So we're going to squeeze. I'm touching, and as I'm squeezing, I'm going to turn. I reach 12 o'clock. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to pick up. Okay? So that one, this petal came out really small. Let me see if there's something stuck. But again, we're just going to squeeze. Okay, there it is. Perfect. Okay? And it's going to create a beautiful flower. You can also do just a big star. Stop. Okay, but you're touching at all times. So that's another flower there. Let me hold the piece of paper. Okay, so again, I'm at 12 o'clock. Pay attention to my knuckles here. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and continue to turn to 12 o'clock. It's pretty late. Okay, so again, 9 o'clock and turn, squeeze and turn, stop, and lift. Squeeze and turn, stop, and lift. When you see the flower fans out like this, it's very pretty. You stop. So again, squeeze, turn, stop, and lift. Okay, and it's going to leave a little hole in the center, which you'll put a different color, and it'll make beautiful flowers. And then these here, you'll let them dry. Leave them overnight to dry. Oh, it has the center. It came out. That one came out with a center since I put the white. Okay, so there we are. And this one is a very pretty fast flower. Again, it takes learning how just to turn and squeeze at the same time. But once you do that, I mean, you can make hundreds of flowers with one batch of royal icing. So one other one here. Okay, now let me make a little bit of green so that I can show you your leaves. So I'm going to take another little cup. And I'm sorry for my sniffles. The allergies are killing me. It's allergy season. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of icing. I'm going to make it green, and I'm actually going to use the same bag I have there with the pink because I didn't bring any more bags here to my filming area. Okay, so, and we're going to do the leaves separately, and then we'll just attach them when we do. I plan on doing Mother's Day cupcakes with these flowers. I put a drop of blue, and I'm going to put a drop of yellow to make my green. Okay, let's mix that. And now for the tip, we're going to use a tip, the Wilton tips. It's tip 352, which is this tip here. And the way that I describe it to my students is Pac-Man. So you see, remember Pac-Man? This is the way he would go and eat his pellets. His mouth has to be facing this way in order for you to make the leaf. So just like this, okay? Not laying down, but this way. So now I'm going to put this on my bag with my coupler. Like I said, I'm using the same pink bag, so it's going to be pink and green leaves. now, and yes, these flowers are extremely shiny because of all the lights on here to do the video. But I have a confession. I like to leave a light on when I'm drying the flowers so they get even shinier. They don't dry dull, which the corn syrup is helping with that, but it's just me. Okay, so now with this tip, remember, like I said, it's not laying down. If it lays down, it creates almost like a snake. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. We want to have it where Pac-Man is eating his pellets. So pretend your flower is a pellet and Pac-Man is going to eat his pellets. So here you're going to attach, I'm going to attach it here so that you see how it's done. So I'm going to attach it and you're going to squeeze firmly and then stop and pull. And it makes a beautiful leaf. Okay, and like I said, these are pink and green because I used the same bag. So again, I'll do it on this flower here. Squeeze. So basically what you're doing with pressure is you're going to squeeze very hard in the beginning and then you're going to start tapering off that pressure. That's what's going to give you that perfect leaf. So I'll do one here. Squeeze. Okay. Aren't those pretty? Oh, I love the two-tone too. It's almost like three-tone. It has a little white, a little pink, a little green. So again, see Pac-Man. Always remember Pac-Man when you use this tip and you will never have a problem. And you see here that you saw me, I'm going in and out. So doing that. So it's going to give you more ruffled look. If you just go straight, it's going to give you a nice straight. You see the difference between this leaf and let's say this leaf. This one has a lot more ruffles. These are a little bit more straight. So you can play with your leaves. You can make them just a regular little leaf. Let's make this one a little leaf here. You can make them where they have tons of ruffles, make them very big. Okay, so you can do a lot of them like this without putting them on the flower. So that way once they dry, all you have to do is, let's say you make buttercream flowers, you just stick in a royal icing leaf. And these here, I know you're wondering what they're gonna look like. They just look adorable. So simple and beautiful. I think perfect for Mother's Day. Okay, so that's it. I'll be back soon with more tutorials on different flowers, but let's practice these for a little while. Okay, show me what you create on social media, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you. Take care.